Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And New Zealand have actually managed to bat through day 5 against India in the first test match at Kanpur. And against all odds, they have managed to secure an emphatic draw. And I know I've been away for a bit, so I'm going to be covering all of day 4 and day 5 on this volume of CRIQAZI Diaries.
Have a look at that. Smiles up. Oh, it's nearly taken someone out of the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket. Well, wicket 24.
So who would have thought that New Zealand would manage to bat out the final day and save the test match versus India, and that too in such a dramatic way? Let's track back to day 4, but before we even go there, I just want to call out the horrendous umpiring that has taken place both in this test match and the one being played out at Chattogram. It really ruins the flow of the game and the experience of the viewer, and in this day and age, you'd expect better standards of umpiring. So first session of day 4, India actually found themselves in more than a spot of bother as New Zealand bowled really well, got instant breakthroughs, and were able to restrict the hosts to 51 for the loss of 5 wickets. Tim Southee and Kyle Jamieson absolutely bowled their hearts out, ultimately taking 3 wickets each, Southee with 3 for 75 and Jamieson with 3 for 40. And both of these seam bowlers have been absolutely fantastic for New Zealand in this test match throughout. On a wicket that wasn't very conducive for seam bowling, they have managed to take 14 wickets between them, 8 for Tim Southee, 6 for Kyle Jamieson, and I think that is a phenomenal effort. Shreyas Iyer, the debutant who recorded 105 runs in the first innings already, followed that up with a vital 65 runs in the second innings, becoming the first Indian to score a century and a half century on test match debut. Only 2 Indian male cricketers have managed to score more runs than Shreyas Iyer's 170 in both innings combined in their debut test match, which are Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. So it's safe to say that Shreyas Iyer finds himself in elite company. And Shreyas has worked really hard to get to this point. In 54 first-class games, he averaged 52.18 with the bat at a belligerent strike rate of 81.54. I do feel for Shreyas Iyer because even though his individual performances were brilliant, India still couldn't manage to seal the game, and that Man of the Match award that he did eventually win would have felt quite bittersweet. That said, I do think that Shreyas should be extremely proud of his performance in his very first test match, and without a smithereen of doubt, he should be retained for the second test match when Virat Kohli returns. So the question really is, who should make way for Shreyas Iyer? And I think the answer is quite apparent. Ajinkya Rahane, who hasn't scored a lot of runs in test cricket for quite a while now. His form hasn't been up to mark, and also a fun fact for you guys is that Ajinkya Rahane's home test average is only around 35 odd, and I do not think that warrants selection, especially when you've got players like Shreyas Iyer rising to the occasion and showing the world just exactly what they're capable of. Another player who's been so crucial for India in this game with the bat has been all-rounder Ravi, Chandran, Ashwin. He contributed with 70 runs across both innings, 38 in the first and 32 in the second. And it was really that partnership between Ashwin and Shreyas Iyer that saved this test match for India, because they came into bat when the situation was extremely tricky, and India could well have gone on to lose the test match from that point on had they failed to score. And once Ashwin and Iyer had managed to save the game for India, Wriddhiman Saha and Akshar Patel then went on to solidify India's lead. Wriddhiman Saha was really impressive in what many thought might be his last test match, but he went on to score an unbeaten 61, and Akshar Patel also contributed with 28 not out, and both of these batsmen took India's score to 234 for the loss of 7 wickets when India declared and set New Zealand a target of 284 to chase. Things really didn't get any better for New Zealand on day 4 as Ravichandran Ashwin struck early. He removed Will Young for 2, and by the end of day's play on day 4, New Zealand still required 280 runs to win with 9 wickets in hand. And I don't think a lot of people would have given New Zealand much of a chance to save the test match from that point onwards. I know I didn't, but such is the beauty of test match cricket. Debutant Rachin Ravindra was New Zealand's hero on day 5 as he saw off 91 deliveries to score his 18 runs, and in partnership with Ajaz Patel, he closed out the day for New Zealand and managed to secure a memorable draw. And avoiding defeat was by no means easy, as this was New Zealand's last batting pair. New Zealand being 9 down with nearly 9 overs in the day yet to be bowled. Now, taking that into account, and the quality of India's spin attack, that too in home conditions, I think this is a magnanimous feat. And I would even go on to say that it's as good as a win. It is excruciatingly difficult not to lose a test match versus India when they're playing at home and batting first. If you're batting last in a test match in India, most times you are going to lose, and that's why I think New Zealand must be given a lot of credit. Tom Latham was absolutely superb in this test match for New Zealand as he ate up 282 deliveries to score his 95 in the first innings and then 146 deliveries for his 52 in the second innings. And that's 428 deliveries in total, which is north of 71 overs. That's why I think Tom Latham definitely deserves to be celebrated, as he soaked up a lot of pressure and was imperative towards New Zealand's eventual draw. Will Somerville also scored a valuable 36 off 110 deliveries as night watchman, and Kane Williamson also hung around for 112 deliveries to score 24 runs. But then India ran rampant after tea, Ravindra Jadeja especially, as he recorded figures of 4 for 40, but to no avail. Ravi Chandran Ashwin also went on to record figures of 3 for 35 and has now gone up to 419 test match wickets, which is the third highest for an Indian bowler. Kapil Dev at 434 wickets and Anil Kumble at 619 wickets, still ahead of Ravi Chandran Ashwin. Now, it almost seems like a certainty that Ashwin will overtake Kapil Dev, but will he overtake Anil Kumble and become India's leading wicket taker in Test match cricket? That is yet to be seen. All in all, it was a disappointing end for India in a Test match which they were in control of for the most part, and they really should have gone to win. Given the quality of India's spin attack, and especially in home conditions as well, you would expect them to take 9 wickets on day 5, but that just couldn't happen, and I think India will be really disappointed. Now, a lot of India's main players will return for the second test, which starts on December 2nd, and as always, they will start as favourites as they are playing in home conditions, but New Zealand will take a lot of confidence from this draw. And if New Zealand somehow manage to win the toss and bat first, well, then you never know what might transpire in that test match, and we might have an upset on the cards over here. Let me know if you think that's a possibility in the comments section below. That's a wrap for volume 90, folks. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about all of my latest videos. I'll catch you soon enough. Tomorrow I'll cover Pakistan's test match, days 3, 4, and 5. But till then, that's all for now. Qazi off the mic.
Have a look at that, miles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, happy for the members, and it went like a rocket.